Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me today for a quick Rummage episode. We are going to dive back into the original cheese box, the Wilson Certified Cheese Box that's been on the channel for probably a couple of years or longer now. I've got a couple of other ones that I've broken out since, but this one has nothing but COMC pickups that are backlogged in my collection. And I am waiting on a new order of cards to arrive here in the coming weeks from COMC. So while we wait, figured I would dive into this cheese box and we'll rummage for a bit, try to make some space for the new stuff that is coming in. And we start with a great Ichiro card here. Check this out. This is a short print image variation of his 2018 Topps card here with the Mariners, which I love, to conclude his career, which is the team that I always closely associate or think of when I think of Ichiro in my mind. I think that's the case for most. Even though he did play for the Marlins and the Yankees and other franchises. So that is a killer short print card right there. I love those image variations from Flagship Topps, and glad I scooped that one up now. This is a pretty dense box here, but how about from one great of sport to another? Wayne Gretzky, number 99. This is the O-Pee-Chee Platinum Rainbow Foil card, or Rainbow card, which is basically a refractor. I've talked about this set before, but O-Pee-Chee Platinum is basically like the Topps Chrome of hockey. And here we get a look at Wayne in his Campbell Conference All-Star uniform there, complete with, matching pants and socks and gloves and everything. Really, really love that look. And I think this is a card that I've shown other versions of before. Tried to pick up, the regular refractor like this, as well as a couple of other versions. So great Wayne card there that'll be making its way into my Gretzky Z Folio after today's episode. It's really catching the light nicely in here. Let's go towards the right portion of the box, and we're going to get a soccer card here. So 3 different sports in a row to start things off. This is from the 2018-19 Topps Chrome UEFA Champions League. Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. Awesome midfield player. One of my favorites for probably almost the last decade now in the game of soccer. And of course, Manchester City has just been wildly successful during his time on the team. And I love that this refractor is the same design as 2019 Topps Baseball. Topps having UEFA Champions League and Major League Baseball, they can share the design across those 2 sports, which is something that I am a big fan of. So great KDB refractor there. And that was probably under $1, I would guess, and will be destined for my small soccer Z Folio at the conclusion of today's rummage. Let's do the middle of the box again here. And how about a buyback? I didn't know I had any of these in here. This is a Topps Heritage Box Topper buyback of the 1971 World Series celebration. Got Manny Sanguilla in there yelling and a bunch of other teammates. Just a very joyous moment for Pirates fans. And this one is wildly off center, both left to right, and especially top to bottom, where that bottom border is barely visible. But as I've said many times, you can't be picky when it comes to buybacks as far as your condition and centering, like you can with normal vintage cards, because there just aren't many out there. And that was a nice cheap pickup for the buyback collection. Let's go into the left portion. These tend to be oversized cards here, and that is the case. And we have a football card. We are really spanning all of the North American and sports of the world here in this rummage. This is a 55 Bowman, I think it is, Max Boydston. And you can see it is clearly labeled with a rookie denomination in parens right below his name. And I've talked about this set maybe in the early days of the channel, going way back, but it's been a while since I pulled one. At one point, I aspired to complete the set because it's relatively cheap. And I like the look of these with the bright colors and kind of that angelic glow sort of around the subject. I don't know if I'll get back to trying to do that or not, but certainly happy to add one more to the list anyway and kind of tuck that away and make a future decision on, whether I really want to stick with that set or not. Whoops. It's really, really full in this box. And how about a non-sport while we're at it? We are all over the place today. And we're reaching new levels of randomness here with this 1971 Topps Baseball inspired Wicket card. Of course, one of the Ewoks, the main Ewok in the Return of the Jedi franchise. And then he was actually involved in a couple of made-for-TV Star Wars movies that revolved around the Ewoks that I watched in the 80s. My brothers and I love those movies. And I really dig the fact that this has a 1971 Topps baseball feel, but is a Star Wars card featuring Wicket. So I love Ewoks. They were kind of fun characters for me. I was much, much younger when that Star Wars movie was kind of popular. And so I get why they're not maybe as popular with some older Star Wars fans, but I'm always an Ewok fan here, always have been. And that was like a $1 pickup. And we have another soccer card here. And I think another, this might actually just be the base card, not a refractor, but check out this Erling Haaland for Borussia Dortmund. Has obviously just scored a goal there in the Champions League, you can tell. Got that Champions League ball. And he's just getting into his celebration here, running towards the sidelines or the corner. And just a really, really cool shot. I love Haaland. The guy is a beast. He is once again pacing the Premier League with actually Manchester City now, as far as the Golden Boot or the goal record in the current season. Here's a cool rookie card. Shout out to my buddy Dan over at Old Sarge Collects, who I know is a fan of this player and this team. Kyle Tucker on the 2019 opening day. This is the blue foil. And I love this kind of like digital sort of effect that we got on the 2019 parallels and even the base set, but it really sticks out with these shiny parallels. And of course, this is sort of a team color match of sorts. I would say, you know, blue and orange are probably the colors that match best. And I'm just a big fan of Kyle Tucker. I think he just quietly goes about his business every year, but the numbers are always there at the end of the year. And I think he's a modern player to keep an eye on and somebody that I kind of half collect. Certainly don't go in as deep on him as I do guys like Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani, but love this one. Love a good team color match and some shine there. So nice Astros card today. We'll stick with the middle portion of the box here. And we have a hockey card, and this is one that I've shown before, but it's kind of a sneaky card. This is a second year Connor McDavid canvas. So it's from 2016, and I love that it's a throwback to those kind of multiple exposure upper deck cards that a lot of us that collected in the late 80s, early 90s have fond memories of. And of course, McDavid just continues to be, in my estimation, the most talented player on ice, and hoping that Edmonton can make some noise and go kind of deep into the playoffs. But this is not an expensive card, but it's one that I think in the future could really hold its value or be quite a bit tougher to get. So I grabbed a bunch of copies of this back when they were just $1 or $2 on COMC. So there's another. Let's do the oversized section again here. See if we can get a vintage baseball, and we do. And a great card here from my favorite vintage set, 1953 Topps, one that I've talked about plenty of times. Developed a love for this set as a kid due to the Archives release that came out in 1991 and was basically a reprint set of these 53s. This is a pretty off-center Sherm Lawler. We got a large top border there and a very, very small bottom border. But oddly enough, centering doesn't bother me on the 53 design the way it does on many others. And I'm really just trying to put together a complete set, sort of, I wouldn't say regardless of condition. I'm trying to avoid extremely beat up cards, but if I can find singles that I need, like this one in this type of shape for maybe $3 or $4, they're a little bit hard to pass up. So great shot there of Sherm Lawler with the backwards cap. And of course the backs on this set are really beautiful as well. So happy to see a 1953 Topps edition come out of the cheese box today for that very long-term set build that I'm working on. And we're at the 9-minute mark, so let's do at least a couple more cards here. I really need to make some space in this cheese box. Here's a cool one, and this is a set I've actually been thinking about recently. This is the 2018 Topps On-Demand 3D version of the Xander Bogaerts card, and was actually chatting with a couple hobby buddies about this recently, and I think sadly, after a 5-year run, it seems like Topps did away with this release last year. I did not see 3D versions of the 2023 flagship set. I don't think those were made, and now that 2024 is out, seems that is not going to happen. So these had a 5-year run beginning in 2018 and continuing through the 2022 release. They were an on-demand online release, and they're fairly limited as well. Especially these 2018s, the first year. These are not easy to get, but I'm a sucker for all things 3D. And I love that these are a great throwback to kind of the Kellogg's cards of my youth and, some of those other 70s and 80s 3D designs. So really cool Xander there. That'll be making its way into my Xander Z. And I'm working on some player runs in 3D of a couple of other guys that I collect as well. So a little bit of a spoiler there. Here's another Xander back-to-back. This one out of Panini Mosaic. And I picked this one up because it is a red mosaic, a reactive red mosaic is the name of the parallel. But obviously for Xander being a Boston card, it's a great team color match. So both of those cards will go off into the Bogarts Z Folio at the conclusion of the episode today. And then how about 3 shiny cards in a row? This is a 2021 Topps insert, and it is the Chrome 1952 throwback. I think these were called like Redo or something like that. But a really nice looking card here. I think all of these have this refractor quality. I don't think there's like a base version of this. It's not a numbered card or anything like that, but I love the combination of hobby darling Mike Trout and of course that famed 1952 Topps design. And I think they come together here to make a really nice looking shiny card. And again, this was none of the cards that we've seen today were expensive pickups in any way. And then let's do another oversize here. You can pull one. Oops, really struggling. And we'll make this the last card in today's Rummage. 1955 Topps Vic Power. How about that smile? Absolutely love it. This is a gorgeous card between the red in the background. This great Kansas City Athletic logo here with the elephant balancing on the baseball. Just a lot to love here. Big fan of this set, and like 1953 Topps that we saw earlier in the Rummage, I'm sort of slowly accumulating my way towards maybe completing this set at some time in my hobby lifetime. And of course, the backs of these are equally as cool as the front, so I have to show that as well. So Vic Power ends our Rummage today. Certainly appreciate you spending about 12 minutes of your time here on the channel. Hope you saw a card or two that was of interest to you. I'll be back very soon, as always, and in the meantime, I hope you're all enjoying the hobby. Take care.